Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today, Barbara Reese takes us to the Fine Arts Festival held at the Municipal Pond last week. This year, teaming up with the popular Farmers Market. We'll have a look at Warnsdorfer School's Diversity Day, and Mayor Stahl speaks with Jackie Paradise, a local Girl Scout, about an upcoming project she's working on, and Counselor Stephani Fried is in the EBTV studio to discuss college counseling. Do you know what Futsal is? Well, we'll learn about it from EBTV's newest sponsor, Christian Salazar. All coming up, so stay with us.
This is Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. We're here at the Municipal Pond across from the East Brunswick Library for a very special day, the 11th Annual Fine Arts Festival. Come join us for a fun day of artwork and locally grown delicacies.
I think it's another example of what's so great here in East Brunswick. The Fine Arts Festival is another great example of how the community pulls together, brings artists from around the tri-state region, and even our local artists, our students are here exhibiting their beautiful work. And it gives the community an opportunity to not only see those exhibits, but also have an opportunity to talk to their neighbors. So it's a great community day. And I think this year we actually coupled another event. We've got the Farmers Market attached in the courtyard, and I think it brings additional people to the activity, and it's a great way you come out and see the arts and have an opportunity to also buy some delicious foods. We have so many activities. I mean, earlier today, and actually still ongoing, was up at the soccer fields, the rec divisions having their games, and you have a lot of families from within East Brunswick and our local communities playing soccer. I invited them all to come up here for their breaks, see a little bit of the arts, because it is all about arts, athletics, and education here in East Brunswick. So again, there's always things to do in East Brunswick. This is the 11th Annual Fine Arts Festival, and they've done a great job, the Arts Commission, in putting this together and working with the rec department.
So Estelle, it's a beautiful day, a lovely turnout. Tell us a little bit about what's so special about this festival.
The fact that we have many artists who have joined us today, and craftspeople, people of quality, and we have maintained a high standard, and we are interested in having people attend it. So the community appreciates it because they know they have a quality festival each year at this time, and we're proud of maintaining this standard, and it's wonderful for the general feeling of the good feeling for the township, where we all congregate together and enjoy one another's company. And this year, in addition to that, we have food being sold here. We just want to keep enjoying this year after year and enlarging on this and maintain the quality of it. I'd like to see the quality improve each year. They get higher and higher quality, the standards. We keep a high standard, and the committee has worked on it for many, many months, and the recreation department has really done most of the hard work. So it's a nice afternoon spent very pleasantly with people you enjoy, who have similar feelings and similar interests, and love to pass a few hours of their time here. So that makes for a lovely day.
Haley, tell us what gave you the idea to bring your artwork to the festival today?
Well, I didn't really have the idea, but I was browsing the internet, and my mom saw the art show flyer. So then I asked her if I could be a part of it, and she said, of course. So that's how I ended up here.
So what kind of artwork do you do?
It depends. Sometimes I'll do like still life or impressionism. Like, that's about it.
So those are your motivations? And it's pretty impressive that at your age you're familiar with impressionism. What's even more impressive is tell us of where people who purchase your artwork today, where are you going to be giving that money to?
I'm going to be giving that money to the Make-A-Wish Foundation because I'd really like to help those sick kids. Well, every time that I passed the castle, I always wondered and asked, what is that? And whoever I asked answered, it's a Make-A-Wish Foundation. It helps sick kids' wishes come true. So then that's how I got the idea.
So Jake, tell us a little bit of how you got involved in glass blowing.
Well, at a young age, I got interested in glass beads or pendants or things of this nature, and then my parents bought me a bead making kit, and from that point on, I just went to a snow farm craft camp up in New England, then got my bachelor's of fine arts, and now I'm a professional glass artist.
You've come to this festival several times. What do you like about coming to this arts festival?
This is my hometown show. I love it. I know everybody. Everybody knows me, knows the family. It's great. It's really a blast. Everyone's real supportive. It's awesome.
Today it's the second farmers market of the year. As everybody probably knows, we have a lot of vendors who came back. The pickle guy, the baker, the honey lady, the great coffee. And it's at the same time and next to the Arts Festival, which I think is a great combination, art and food. And we're just happy to be here and see everybody else.
I came to farming sort of the back roads. I really wanted to offer something to my community while getting to experience some real land stewardship and like supporting the natural world, and farming really fuses those two things together because it lets me offer delicious, healthy food to my community while taking care of a piece of land and developing a relationship to that piece of land. Some of the stuff that's here I harvested just this morning, and at the grocery store you're getting stuff that was harvested weeks ago, and from the moment of harvest the nutrient value begins to decrease, and that's just the way it is. It's because you've cut it off from its source of life.
What's the importance of having locally grown food available for people to try out and taste for themselves?
Well, of course, we're supporting the local economy is one thing. We're also, it's environmentally friendly because we're not transporting the food from far away. And some would argue that it's also more nutritious and more tasty.
This is Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. Hope you've enjoyed this wonderful day out at the pond and in front of the library, celebrating two wonderful events where we had the farmers market as well as the arts festival. We really hope to see you here again next year.
Hi, I'm Cindy O'Connor for This Week in East Brunswick, here at the East Brunswick Jewish Center to thank the newest sponsor of the EBTV Community Bulletin Board, Christian Salazar of Fine Touch Futsal Academy. So, Christian, tell us about Fine Touch Futsal Academy. Tell us about the program.
Well, the program entitles kids from the ages of 10 to 15, okay, and basically focusing on what is teamwork, okay, discipline, hard work, and creativity.
How does it differ from other soccer programs? I see we're indoors. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Okay, when you're playing futsal, okay, it develops your foot skills a lot quicker than when you're playing outside. Why? Because you have less room, okay? So that means that you have to think quicker, okay? And that's what a good player is all about, all right? Actually, an excellent player is all about. For him to be able to think, okay, once he receives the ball, where he's going to put it or what he's going to do with it, as opposed to receiving the ball and then start the thinking process. So by reducing the space, having less players, okay, the player has an opportunity to think in a quicker pace.
Okay, so how does it differ from other soccer programs, do you think?
It differs because I push for the kids' creativity, okay? I don't care if they mess up. All right. I don't care if they make an error. I want them to make errors, okay, because that makes them better. That's what I push for, creativity, for them to be thinking all the time. Okay, the more you think, the better player you will be.
How did you get involved in the program?
I played futsal since I was young, very young. Yes.
And this program comes up from South America, is that right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, futsal originated in Argentina. Okay, then it moved over to Brazil, where they hold right now the biggest futsal league in the world. But yes, it's a South American way of playing, basically. Okay, I'm originally from Peru, so that's why I kind of wanted to integrate this type of playing here in the States.
Now, East Brunswick has a very strong soccer program. What do you think about what this brings to the kids?
I think it would elevate their skills, their confidence, and their creativity tremendously.
The program itself, how does it run?
It runs, well, it's going to start in July, okay? It's going to be 24 sessions. It's going to be July and August, all right? And it'll be 3 days a week for 2 months. Repetition is something else that's very important. So the more you do something, the more it'll stick with you. So that's why I put in the program for 3 days a week.
Can you describe the location and when it will be held?
It will be held at a 511 Riders Lane in East Brunswick Jewish Center. It will be starting in the first Monday of July. So that will be having orientation going on also on June 19th. So if you would like more information, you can come to the orientation where I will be expanding a little bit more on the subject of futsal.
And what time is the orientation?
It would be at 7:30.
The program itself, is it a daytime or an evening program?
It's an evening program. It will be starting from 5 to 6 or 6 to 7.
And again, the ages of the kids who are eligible?
10 to 15.
What's the one thing that you want people to know about the program?
The one thing that I want people to know about the program, that if your son really works hard, okay, he will get results.
Is it for boys only?
Boys only, correct.
If people would like more information, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can reach me via email, okay, at cdsalaz77@gmail.com or on my cell phone, 732-947-0912.
And is there a deadline for registration for the program?
Yes, I would, because there was only like about I would say no more than 15 kids in 1 hour slot. Okay, so I preferable 14 kids in 1 hour slot. So a timeline would be definitely before, if you can get in contact with me before the orientation, okay, and that'll be great.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your credentials for teaching this?
Yes, I actually started coaching with my second son, because he's 13 now. He was 6 years old when I started. And I got more and more involved with the East Brunswick Soccer Club, okay, in the community, and I started liking it a lot. All right, so then I went and got my licenses. I got my F license and my E license.
Once again, I'd just like to thank Christian for sponsoring the EBTV Community Bulletin Board. For This Week in East Brunswick, I'm Cindy O'Connor.
Hi, In Our Schools has brought us here to Warnsdorfer this week with Joe Satari, the principal here at Warnsdorfer, and Donna Taylor, who teaches 3rd grade. And today is your annual Diversity Day. And tell us a little bit about the goal for Diversity Day.
Well, here at Warnsdorfer, we celebrate diversity each day, particularly with our theme this year. Our theme is Warnsdorfer Detectives on the Lookout For, and we're on the lookout for a lot of things, including students who are accepting of each other and tolerant of each other. But each year we prepare one special day where we have a variety of activities planned for students to teach acceptance, conflict resolution, students being accepting of others' differences, and that's today, and it's so far been a very fun day.
All right, hi, we're here with our 3rd grade class, Mrs. Taylor's class. We're doing a portrait bag activity where the students were asked to go home and take magazine pictures, things that represent what people would see of them on the outside. So if they're like a sports fan, or things that would easily be distinguishable from an outside viewer. But then on the inside of the bag, they're putting things that people would not necessarily be able to see from the outside. So they're more like feelings and things like that. So they've been asked to kind of pick out some of those pictures, and so they're constructing them and putting them on their bags right now. So it's a portrait of themselves, and then they're going to discuss a little bit about what they've done today.
On one side of this paper, we only have one color, and the other side, we have all different colors. And we figured out that if you work together, then it will make more good stuff, and if you only work like one paper, then it'll be like boring stuff.
So what's your name? You're very brave for a little boy.
My name is Hiawatha. I'm from the Onondaga tribe.
Oh, you are Hiawatha. I should have known. I have seen you many times in my dreams.
What? You see me in your dreams?
Indeed. You see, my cave is a sacred cave. It once belonged to the wind.
And Don, I know that you worked very hard with Claudia Weiss and many other Warnsdorfer teachers to put the day together. What are some of the things that are going on?
Well, one of the things we had today was a beautiful performance of Hiawatha, which was a wonderful way of understanding diversity and acceptance of other people. Also, in all of the classrooms, the teachers are all doing different activities to learn about acceptance and cultural differences.
Very good. So all throughout the day, those things are going on. I heard that the assembly was fantastic.
Yes, it really was. The Catskill Puppeteers were brought to us by our PTA as part of our cultural arts assemblies. Our PTA does a wonderful job bringing groups to us. The students really loved it. We had 2 assemblies this morning, one for our kindergarten through 3rd grade, and then again for our 4th and 5th grade students. And it's a wonderful group, and it was a nice performance today.
A healthy school community is really important to all of this, appreciating one another's similarities and differences, being kind to one another. Tell us a little bit about some of the other things that are going on here at Warnsdorfer.
Well, we wanted to tie Diversity Day into many of the things that are going on throughout the district, particularly with the Rachel's Challenge program. And I think we've done a good job with that. We have our students signing our Rachel's Challenge banner. We have our Links of Kindness that have now at Warnsdorfer made it completely around our building, and we made a challenge to the students to see if we can go all the way around the building a second time before the end of the year, and they're well on their way.
And those are all acts of kindness.
Yes, each link represents an act of kindness. Teachers and really any staff member in the school recognizes when a student does something positive and good for another, and they're rewarded with a chain link of kindness that get linked together and become a symbol around our building of all the things that we've done well here.
We're discussing what an opinion is, and we took almost like a survey, and it asked us if we like something, and then it asked us if we have ever experienced or owned something. Like, for example, do you like parakeets, and have you ever owned a parakeet? Because if your answer is no, and you've never owned one, how will you know that you don't like them? And we added up all our scores, and now we're deciding what the score means and what the number means.
I always think about the best thing you can do is the things that people maybe don't notice, or that you're not doing it in order to get them to notice. And that's kind of what I think of when Rachel's Challenge. It's just the kind things that you do because that's what you do to be a good person. So great things going on here at Warnsdorfer School.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming.
Hi, it's Mayor David Stahl. As we know, East Brunswick is so vibrant and alive with so many different activities, and the youth of our community is so very involved in what makes East Brunswick so great. I'm pleased to be joined with Jackie Paradise, the young lady who's a Girl Scout who's working on her project for her Gold or Silver Award.
Silver.
And she's here to talk to us about this wonderful project. Jackie, welcome.
Thank you. Oh.
Why don't you again mention what it is that we're going to be doing here in East Brunswick?
I'm working on my Silver Award project, which I'm focusing on animal abuse and how you should really adopt and not shop. Adopt your animals from the local shelter or instead of shopping for them. And I'll also be talking about puppy mills, how they breed dogs unhealthily.
Well, let's talk about, you obviously want people to go to the shelters to get animals. What's one of the reasons for that?
One of the reasons why you should go to a shelter is because at the shelter, they treat their animals well, and they usually get their animals off the streets or rescue them. With shopping, like buying your dogs like from just a store, they're usually from a puppy mill where they don't breed the dogs, like they don't treat the dogs well, so when they breed, they keep the dogs in the cage, and they don't let them out. They don't let them out or feed them that much food, and once they die, they just like throw them away.
What got you interested in this kind of work?
Well, when I was growing up, my cousin always used to have animals, and I've always wanted an animal. And me seeing like all these animals my cousin adopted, and she taught me about how animal abuse and everything.
Is there any animal shelter that you work closely with?
I'm working with the Woodbridge Animal Shelter, but I also work with Helmetta.
Okay, now what was the idea that you came up with respect to your Girl Scout project?
The idea that I came up with was to show the community that there's animals out there that are being abused and getting hurt each day, and nobody's seeing that, and how animals have emotions too, just like humans. And what I know that you've created some beautiful pavers that we're going to put up at the at our dog park here in East Brunswick. How'd you come up with that idea? Well, it came along while we were doing the process, and we just thought we need something to I needed something to put our mark on, like keep it there in the community. So we thought, how about we just put pavements into the dog park where you have the number of the local animal police, and you would go there and you could call them if you ever see it.
It's like a general reminder while you're up there just enjoying some time with your dogs and socializing with your neighbors. You have an opportunity again to get that message out. And then I also understand on Saturday, June 22nd, you're going to be doing something up at the dog park as well?
Yeah, on Saturday, June 22nd, I will be up at the dog park from 8 to 12 doing a booth where you can come and I will tell you some things about animal abuse. And if you want to, you could make a cat or dog toy, which I have. You'd make, like, this would be the dog toy, and this is the cat toy. And I will donate them to the Woodbridge Animal Shelter. That's great. Do you have other Girl Scouts that are helping you with your project? Yeah, I have some people, girls in my troop that are helping me put together, like, my booth and my toys.
And what do you think, looking back on your experience as a Girl Scout, what have you find it to be enriching about it?
I find that you learn so much about being a Girl Scout. You learn how you can help the community, even though you're still young, you can still help it. And from prior years of being a Girl Scout leading up to here, it's helped me a lot to where I am today with my Silver Award and showing that I can change the community.
I think it's fantastic. I think, as I said when I started this segment with you, I think one of the great things about East Brunswick is our youth is so extremely involved. We're going to be celebrating our flag retirement ceremony, which was the idea of also some young Girl Scouts. So I want to congratulate you and thank you on behalf of the community for raising the awareness of this issue to the community. I think it's very important. I want to congratulate you for it. So if you're out there, come up to the dog park, whether you have a dog or not. Come up on June 22nd and let's help Jackie make East Brunswick a better place. Again, thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Cindy O'Connor with another edition of Passion with Purpose, a series about people who are realizing some passion in their lives. And I'm really pleased to introduce today Stephani Fried, a licensed professional counselor with a psychotherapy practice specializing in family counseling. And today we're here to talk about college advising.
That's right.
And this is your passion. Why?
I am a family counselor, and I work with children of all ages, from in utero all the way to people I've had the honor and privilege of working through into their 90s sometimes. So I do a lot of work with children, families. I do a lot of work with adolescents, and that's part of my passion. I'm one of those rare adults who really enjoy spending time with teenagers and their energy and their interests. So out of my 30 years of sitting in the therapist chair, what occurred was that so many kids and parents, when the children hit the high school age, had the focus and sometimes all too often the pressure of having to prepare themselves for the college journey. And so out of my practice, just morphed this organic interest in the college counseling field. And I've been doing that for about the last 10 years.
When you see kids and talk with them, is it always the same process?
It's so varied, Cindy, and that's what's so really interesting for me and hopefully really helpful to the families. Kids come in at all different points when I meet them in the college counseling process. Sometimes I get them, sophomores or juniors, which I prefer because we have a lot more time to sit and really talk. And often kids will come in and they know that they want to go to college. They know and they feel the pressure from their schools and their peers and their parents, but they're just really ambivalent about who they are still. They're still forming, their identities are still forming. And so we'll sit and really talk about who they are and just sort of pull the threads with them about, just identifying what their interests are and what their passions are. And seeing how we can start to talk about framing those passions into a vocation or something that they'd really like to be when they grow up.
Do some kids know right off the bat what they want?
Yeah, that's another type of student that I have. You know, there are always those really interesting children who knew when they were 5 or 7 or 13 exactly what they wanted to be when they grow up, and you know, they start a path towards that, and they're very driven towards that. And they also, those students of mine need something that I call taking the stress off them. The very driven children often just need, you know, me to map out the process for them, and create a timeline for them and break all of these tasks, searching for a college, figuring out the best fit college, starting to visit colleges and understanding how to visit a college and seek and find out the information that they really want. So it's just a different journey with every student and with every set of parents. I spend a lot of time often texting and talking to the parents who also are just understandably really overwhelmed. So many parents didn't go to college themselves, so they don't know how to sort of traverse the landscape. Other folks have been to college, but it's been such a long time that the whole process of applying is very, very different. So, you know, we'll kind of hold their hand and talk them through the process as well.
Well, I understand how you would get to know the kid and the family and everything, but how do you know that one child might be happier at New College than at GW, for example? How do you know the schools?
Good question. I've spent a lot of time visiting many colleges, and I've had the opportunity, it's been really wonderful to get to know the regional admissions folks from so many of the colleges, who are very happy to talk and make it clear to me so I can make it clear to my students about, you know, what's the climate, what's the vibe on that college campus, you know, which majors, you know, are really sort of stellar tracks to pursue at particular colleges, which colleges support my undecided students who don't know when they're going in and want to sort of smorgasbord the first year to kind of try out a lot of different courses and see. So I get to know the you know, just the vibe on the campus and who's there for them. You know, I do work with very bright, very competitive-driven students who are pursuing performing arts or engineering or pre-med. I also do a lot of work, again, out of my counseling practice. I wind up doing a lot of work with students who are often, I call them different learners, children who learn differently and children who want to go to college and they're bright and they're motivated, but they're on a different track in high school. And so, you know, helping those parents and those kids find colleges that are best fit for them with the right supports on the campus, either the academic supports, the psychological supports that are going to help them really be able to be very successful in college, and often they can be very successful in college.
If people would like to contact you, how can they reach you?
I have a website, and it is yourcollegeadvice.com. They can also call me at my office in North Brunswick, and the phone number is 732-821-1448.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for inviting me.
For Passion with Purpose, I'm Cindy O'Connor asking, what purpose are you realizing in your life?